Hello, ladies. I wanted to just come have some dialogue with you today. I know I haven't done a video in quite some time. Look, it's been extremely crazy. Not crazy, but busy, right? So, just working, trying to, what business and trying to just move forward in those things, life, my children. It's yes, I have grown children, but I do want to spend, I like spending time with my kids when I can, and all of those things. So today I wanted to just come and share this conversation that I had a few weeks ago, actually, no, last week actually, with someone very dear to me. And it started off with me sharing um, just a vision that God has given, a vision, a passion of what God has given me. And I was actually taken aback because it was this enormous dream that I know that it will be God. It has to be God, right? And when I shared it with him, it was like he was like, wow, as well. But the point is here, when I went into this sharing it, and then all of a sudden afterwards, I was like, but how? And immediately he stopped me and began coaching me. And the first question that he asked me was, wait a minute, because he said, wait a minute, because you always, a lot of times you go here, in other circumstances that we didn't talked about. And then there's this like hope, like there's something blocking you from going forth, or it's like you immediately put a block right there, right after God is giving you something, and then here comes this blockage that comes to, plans to hinder me in going forth or believing, having the faith to know that I can. And I was like, wow. And he began rolling off scenarios of me doing it. And I guess I've been doing it for so long, I've been doing it for so long that I didn't even recognize it has been embedded in me. Something that, you've been doing so long that you don't even recognize it. It takes somebody else to actually point it out, and then they point it out to you, and then you're like, wow, like, good gracious, I didn't know. And so Holy Spirit immediately dropped in my spirit fear of failure. And I was like, wow, fear of failure. And it comes from all of these incidents in my life where I've been in rooms and this has been projected on me. I have heard conversations. I have experienced those things firsthand, and I did not want to be one to be I've been labeled as a failure, and I did not want to be labeled as a failure again, because it's just been, I've overcome a lot, but that thing there, it still rings in the back of my head, right? And immediately I was, this is why, blah, blah, blah. This is why. All of the things that I've gone through that is why, And he stopped me and he was like, well, how are you going to get past that? And I had to think about that thing, like, okay, right, because this is how I've been showing up for so long. Like, how are we going to get past this, Tiffany? How are we going to get past this? Because there's greatness inside of you, and and I'm speaking to you ladies too, because there's greatness inside of you, and if we don't recognize that thing that is hindering us from tapping into the fullness of who we are, then yeah, we need to. now, right now. And I began saying, I will no longer believe what others think about me, say about me, the things that nobody even does not even not there's times when people don't even say anything, but our minds will go to a place, why they ain't saying nothing? Oh my God, they not saying nothing, something wrong. We will go to that place. And I said, I will no longer go to that place. But that takes work, right? That takes work. That takes us being intentional. That takes Holy Spirit, Lord. When I go to this place, when I hear these things, I need your help. He's our helper. I need your help. And I will stand on what God says about me. I will stand on the authority that God has given me and go forward in that. And that was it right there for me. And I was like, wow. I see. This has been me for so many years. And I'm gonna be honest, it has been so overwhelming. So overwhelming because, we'll have these things that we desire to do and don't even see that failure, because it can be packaged in another way, what you don't, sitting back behind the crevices of your mind, you don't even see it, and it takes, for someone looking on the outside in, it takes a mentor. That's why we need people around us who loves us, who pours in us, who wants to see the things that God, they are pushing us. And this is why we need those things. And when I tell you that was a breakthrough. Do you hear me? That unlocked some things for me. Oh my God. I immediately after that conversation, okay, the vision just became clearer. And I have been nonstop on writing the vision, making it plain. And now that I know the things that have been hindering, and sometimes it's not even others. It can be our own thoughts of what we placed on each other. Because you know what? One of the things that I would do, I would create expectations of what I expected of myself, but they were impossible. So I'm putting all of this pressure on me to show up to something that, number one, I don't even want to do. I don't even want to do. So where did that expectation come from? Where did it come from? Something I don't even want to do. Something that I can't do. I know we can do all things through Christ that strengthens us. I know. I truly know this. And I'm not talking from that place. If you understand what I'm saying, it's something imaginary. It's something that, when you think about it, it would be like, and I can't, and right now, because I have really done the work, I can't even think of one that I created, right? But it would be something that, and I would share it with somebody else, and they was like, what? Why are you putting that much? You are so critical. Why are you putting that much pressure on yourself? But that's been me my whole life, guys. On top of relationships, on top of jobs, on top of my kids, on top of family, on top of friends, on top of all the other extracurricular activity in the community, other things, serving, all of the things that I did, those things were there. But I say all this to say, don't let fear hinder you. There are some things that God has been tugging on your heart to do. I want to challenge you to get in a place. Today I just came back from the park with all of my, my books and planner, notebooks and pens and all of that. And I had my worship music on. I went into the spirit and I allowed God to be God. So I want you to get in I'm gonna challenge you to get into a place to allow God to be God.